Are you looking for the best DSLR cameras in your budget? Well, in today's video we break down the top 5 best DSLR cameras that are available on the market. If this video is helpful for you, please like, comment and press the subscribe and bell button. Okay, let's start the video. Starting at number 5, we have the Canon EOS Rebel T7i. Canon has been carefully evolving its Rebel family for years, and the Canon EOS Rebel T7i is 2017's update to the T6i, also found in this list. Again, it's not the newest camera on the list, but is still such an exceptional performer that it needs to be considered by beginners looking for a superb DSLR that can carry them from just getting started to becoming comfortable as an intermediate enthusiast. It has all the essential specs: a solid 24-megapixel sensor, 45-point autofocus system, 6 frames per second shooting rate, and more. One welcome update you'll find in this camera is a friendly interface designed to help newbies make the transition from a point-and-shoot to a DSLR. All the power is still there, though, and you can even disable the friendlier interface entirely for access to the Rebel's traditional UI. Another welcome change: Canon has adopted dual-pixel AF system that can competently autofocus even moving subjects while using the live view on the 3-inch LCD display. Speaking of the display, it continues to be fully articulated, so you can maneuver it around to get the perfect shot from unusual angles, or see what you're doing if filming from in front of the lens. Of course, the camera includes wireless connectivity for controlling the cameras from your Android or iPhone, and you can use the included Wi-Fi to transfer and share photos with your phone as well, so there's no need to wait till you get home to transfer photos to your PC. The T7i still lacks 4K video though, so if you're serious about filming with a DSLR, best to look elsewhere. There is a mic input, though, if you want to wire up an external microphone. Moving on at number 4. We have the Nikon D3500. Nikon's D3500 is one of the best overall values in DSLRs for beginners you will find anywhere. There's a lot to admire here: superb image quality, a small lightweight body, one of the best you can find without going mirrorless, and an excellent interface that's got plenty of user-friendliness for beginners without sacrificing power for more advanced shooters. It even has Bluetooth for transferring images to your phone. The camera makes some sacrifices to meet its price point, though. For starters, it doesn't shoot 4K video, which may or may not be a showstopper for you, depending upon whether you plan to shoot video. More disappointing is the 3-inch LCD viewscreen, which is neither touch-enabled nor articulated. Compared to a lot of similar DSLRs, it feels like a relic from an earlier age. Nonetheless, you get great battery life. You can shoot about 1,500 photos on a single charge, which is hard to beat among any DSLR, and certainly any mirrorless camera. It keeps up with many of its peers with a burst mode of 5 FPS, and the whole camera feels super fast and responsive whether you're switching modes, taking a shot, or using the autofocus. In part because the camera is so power efficient, you literally never need to turn it off. Leave it on all the time, and it's ready to shoot instantly. If anything is sluggish, it's focused in the live view mode, which isn't particularly responsive. Like some other cameras on this list, it relies on the less premium pentamirror mechanism rather than a true pentaprism, but it's not much of a compromise. At number 3, we have the Canon EOS Rebel T8i. The latest member of the Rebel family is the Canon EOS Rebel T8i, and this brand new camera reflects everything Canon has learned about making a great entry-level to intermediate DSLR over the last decade or so. It's a wonderful camera that is fully modern, easy to use, and flexible enough to keep up with you as your knowledge and skills grow. But like its predecessors, it's still not the ideal choice for videophiles, despite the presence of 4K recording. Most of the things that have been said about the T7i, also reviewed in this list, apply here. It has the same 24-megapixel sensor and 45-point autofocus system, for example. You now have a slightly improved control scheme, though. The 4-way D-pad, which was always a bit of a bother, has been replaced with a control dial, and that's a marked improvement. You still get the same friendly interface on the rear screen, which is a good way for beginners to learn the ropes. And that display is articulated, so you can shoot from varying positions. It's a consequence of the fact that the camera family has always relied on a pentamirror rather than a pentaprism, and Canon seems intent on sticking with it. The camera's continuous shooting speed has been tweaked a bit. Now it can blast through up to about 7.5 fps, which is an impressive frame rate for an entry-level DSLR. The camera shoots 4K video now as well, which is a welcome improvement, except that it only records 4K at 24 fps, not 30, and the video is cropped. Moreover, you lose the dual-phase fast focusing in 4K, so focusing is much slower. Again, this might not be the best choice for anyone wanting to use their new DSLR primarily for video. At number 2, we have the Canon EOS Rebel SL3. Canon might claim that the Canon EOS Rebel SL3 is the world's lightest DSLR with an articulating viewscreen, but it actually only ties models like the Nikon D3500. That's not a harsh criticism. This is still a very lightweight camera that's genuinely comfortable to hold for extended periods of time. The trade-off is that it's not especially rugged, so think twice before buying this camera to take anywhere it's going to get caked in dirt or subjected to weather. As you would expect for an entry-level DSLR, the SL3 emphasizes fully programmed point-and-shoot simplicity, but it also has easy-to-access shutter priority, aperture priority, manual mode, and scene selections. The autofocus includes eye detection, which improves your chances of nailing the focus when taking people photos. And the 3-inch touch viewscreen fully articulates, so you can use it to frame your shots from any angle, including while positioned in front of the camera. The camera has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in, which makes it easy to control the camera from your smartphone as well as transfer images from the camera to your phone for fast and easy sharing. If you're on the fence trying to choose between this model and a camera like the Nikon D5600, keep in mind that this model shoots 4K video. How important that is to you depends on how much video shooting you do, but includes on an aging 9-point autofocus system, which is easily bested by most of the competition. And finally at number 1, we have the Canon EOS Rebel T7. What's awesome about the Canon EOS Rebel T7? First and foremost, the price. This is not a bad camera by any stretch of the imagination, but it is starting to feel a little old despite, not being all that old. That's because it has a few features that really stand out as being a bit dated. But that might be fine when you see the price tag. This is one of the cheapest DSLRs you can buy. First, the good stuff. The camera is built around a 24-megapixel sensor and the on-screen shooting guide is friendly enough to help beginners learn how to take great photos with very little effort. It also has Wi-Fi and NFC for transferring photos wirelessly. And there's that great price. It's hard to love the fact that this camera's maximum shooting speed is a mere 3 fps, though. Every other camera on this list can muster at least 5 fps, and at least one can get close to 8 fps. If you are interested in action or sports photography, or even like to shotgun photos of your kids as they romp around, look elsewhere. Likewise, this camera still maxes out at 1080p for video, though the lack of 4K is a semi-common criticism for cameras in this price range. When you put the camera to work, you'll find the 9-point autofocus system serviceable, but it's a bit sluggish to achieve focus lock, and live view mode is even slower. Worse, focus locks before you start recording. If you need to change focus during the video, you'll need to do it manually. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you like the video. If the video is helpful for you, please like, comment and share to your friend. Then don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.